Hello everybody and welcome back to my Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney playthrough. But this time I have the mic. Okay, good. Sorry. I was saying... I didn't exactly read that. Basically it said we went back to the Ace Attorney stuff. It was around, or back to our place. It was around like I think 11:22 or 12:11. Something like that. Anyway, it's December 27th. We're in the middle of the trial. We've secured a third day. But we need to conduct an investigation. Basically, we proved that Edgeworth was not the killer. We also brought up the fact there was 3 shots fired.
Hey, what you doing? Are you being that bastard that hasn't subscribed yet? Well, why don't you join one of us that have subscribed? As well as that, you might as well tune down into the description down below, where I have a new subreddit called r/RealmHQ. Other than that, back to your regularly scheduled program.
So, from the sounds of it, Richard Hammond was shot, and then the boat caretaker went onto the boat himself as Richard Hammond, shot 2 shots into the lake to gather, or to get somebody to witness everything. Witness me! And just dumped off and swam over and made it seem like Richard was the guy that actually died. So yeah. Turns out Larry came in clutch by being like, hey, yeah, I was out on the lake and I heard a gunshot before midnight. Which was, again, the whole shtick about, hey, this says that it's possibly on the 24th. Everything we have so far should dispute that, saying it was already on the 5th. 25th. So yeah. Alright, let's go back into it. What was Miss Edgeworth talking about? Memory of a crime I committed. A memory of a murder. I don't fucking know. You really think Mr. Edgeworth killed? I would suspect probably not, since it is only a dream. Could be how he interpreted whatever he's talking about. Because he doesn't seem fully set that he actually killed somebody. But anyway. I don't believe it. It's not Edgeworth. Some painful memory has been troubling him recently. But he never takes somebody's life. Never. Nick! Yo, how's everyone doing? What do you think of my performance today? It was shoddy and shit. Thank you. And I'm swooning in the aisles, huh, Maya? Swooning me? Oh, yes, I do remember feeling faint. Right on, tell me the truth. It was like love at first sight, right? She's like, what, 17 and you're 24? Like, I can get the technically... No, not even that. Fucking... Alright. Great, Nick. Huh? Me? Am I in love with you now? Well, maybe my heart skipped a beat or 2. I think you could do better than that. Come on! I saved Edgeworth in there, dude. Edgy! You guys should be bowing before me. Yeah, bow before your hero. You had so much wrong with your testimony that it's because it was so wrong that it confused and confounded the prosecution. I will slap you and thank you. At today's trial, Larry, you really helped out in the trial today. He did. If you weren't there, Larry, I'm sure Edgeworth would have been found guilty. But seriously, Nick, that boat shop caretaker's guy is pretty suspicious. But Edgy ain't off the hook yet. Way to spoil the mood, Larry. Yeah, I'm just the guy sitting in the audience, you know? But from where I'm sitting, Edgy seemed pretty, edgy. I mean, can you really, know he's telling the truth about that night? Nick? I don't know. But what I do know is I'm going to believe you two until the end. Us two? Andrew, and who else? You mean me, right? I thought we were talking about you two, believing in you two. Yeah, he means me. Right, Nick? I mean just you two. You, Larry. Not me? No, I didn't say Edgeworth, I meant you too. But why you, Larry? Huh? Oh, actually, yeah, why me, Nick? Enough with the silent treatment. Fucking hell, you misinterpreted my words. I never said anything about Edgeworth. Well, fuck me. Now I'm saying something about Edgeworth. Nick, why do you trust Mr. Edgeworth so much? I didn't say Mr. Edgeworth. I mean, he changed recently, true, but when we first met him, he was kind of a jerk, don't you think? You didn't know him back then. Back when he wanted to become a defense attorney. Wait, was that when you two were classmates? Yeah. In grade school. They saved me. Miles and Larry. Saved me on, never forget. That's why I became a defense attorney, you know? What? Hey Larry, what's he talking about? Huh? Oh, sorry, I kind of forgot. Okay, Nick, get out with it. I'm gonna hear this story, and that's final. Okay. It's kind of a long story, so hang in there. It was at the very end of the 3rd grade. I was on trial. A class trial. A class trial? I'll just leave it there. You remember, Larry? Spring of end of 3rd grade. Kid in our class got his lunch money stolen. Lunch money? Our school was really small. Every month, kids would bring in an envelope with money for lunch from home. Oh, I see. Anyway, this kid's envelope disappeared with $38 still inside. Oh, yeah, now that you mention it, I do remember that. You can see why you forget, though. You were out of school, you were out of school that day. Anyway, the envelope had been stolen during PE class. I was coming down with a cold, so I skipped PE that day. I was the only one not in class besides you. So, they thought you did? Yeah, the kids in class said I should be put on trial. Trial? The next day, we held a classroom trial with me as a defendant. I didn't do it. Guilty! He did it! Guilty! It was you! Give back the money! You're such a meanie! No one will play with you. Just admit it, you did it. Can't hide the truth. Tell us the truth. We're not playing with you anymore. Yeah, stop doing that. Now loud in the relay. Give me back my 50 cents you loaned it. Hey, did you rob a bank the other day? Now, Phoenix, you know you shouldn't steal people's money, right? It's not right. In the end, even the teacher thought I'd done it. Go over and apologize, Phoenix. I didn't know what was happening. I was so sad I couldn't stop crying. Everyone was staring at me like I'd done it. I tried to apologize. I went over to the boy whose money had been stolen, sitting. That's when it happened. He shouldn't have to apologize. Only thing that belongs in the trial is evidence. Anything else has no place. You should all be ashamed. Amateurs. Miles? It wasn't you who stole my money, was it? No. You shouldn't apologize. Everyone's been shouting you did it, but no one has any proof. That is why, Your Honor, this boy is innocent. Miles, it was your money that was stolen. Yeah, he did it. He's the one. We don't need proof. Make him say he's sorry. Why don't you all shut up? Oh, Larry. Sorry, whoops. This is how it is. Everyone's ganging up on and picking up on one person. Just think how he feels. He said he didn't do it, so he didn't do it. Very well. I will replace the money myself. This class trial is over. That's how it happened. After that, the three of us were the best friends. I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea either. I mean, I forgot. Larry, is it the same thing with Gordy? Did you steal the money? You're awful suspicious about something that happened years ago. That's when I learned what it was meant to be alone. Totally alone. With a friend in the world. You did a good thing, Larry. Yeah, well, I was just lucky that I took the day off from school. If I had been there, they would have thought I'd done it. So, I took it kind of personally, you see? When something smells, it's usually butt. Anyway, Edgeworth and I talked after the class trial. That's when I heard his father was a defense attorney. I remember his eyes would shine when he talked about his father. I'm gonna become a defense attorney, just like my father. A famous defense attorney. And a few months later, he suddenly transferred to another school. The DL6 incident. Right. I'm not sure, but the transfer probably had to do with his father's death. That's so sad. It was several years later when I heard Edgeworth's name again. There was an article about him in the newspaper. The headline was something like, "Dark Suspicions of Demon Attorney. Fabricating evidence, manipulating testimonies, covering up facts." The article said he'd do anything to get a guilty verdict. Anything. Why? What happened? I mean, it's not the Edgy I used to know at all. That's what I thought, too. I tried to get in touch with him, and I don't know how many times. He never replied. I guess he didn't want to see his old friends. I couldn't just drop it, though. I wanted to meet him, learn why he had become who he became. That's what I decided. Well, you don't mean... That's why you became a defense attorney? To meet Edgeworth? Well, he only responded to those he's going to have to go do combat with. Easiest way to bring the combat to him was to become his enemy. Even if it's only just court of law. If I was a defense attorney, I knew he'd have to meet me whether he wanted to or not. In court. Edgeworth believed in me, and I believe in him. He's in pain, and everyone's on his side. I'm the only one who knows the real Edgeworth. I'm the only one who can help him. Whoa, Nick. So is that why you helped me out for free? Yeah. I helped you out because I believed in you. If I don't remember, I was saying to do it for free. Nick! We have to save Mr. Edgeworth if it's the last thing we do, okay? Alright. Very well might be. First, there's that rental boat shop there. And then find out who or what he is. Settle for who? I guess I can clean out some of this evidence I no longer need. Okay, let's go. So what did we drop? We dropped a couple things, yeah. It's like a lot of hearts thing was dropped. Oh, we dropped the article too. Looks like the second picture was dropped as well. Okay. Wait. Alright, well, there's only We can check on Grossberg, see if he's finally in. He's out again.
When does he work anyway?
No, don't be harsh. Guess we'll just have to come back later. It would be a bad idea to get some info from him. Even if it's not any... Well, he did work with the DL6 incident. So he'd be, for honestly, the perfect guy to ask. Look, it's grim as always.
Miss Edgeworth, I heard the story about the class trial.
Class trial? What do you mean?
You don't remember?
No, I don't.
Your lunch money was stolen, wasn't it? In the 3rd grade?
Lunch money? Oh, right. Yes, I seem to remember something like that.
Nick, I think you're the only one who really remembers.
I don't doubt it. As far as everyone else was concerned, it was a victory. That's right. Phoenix Wright was the only one to feel alone. So it makes sense that he would be the one to remember it all. Well, it's probably only really mattered to me anyway.
Mr. Edgeworth, didn't you know? That trial was the reason Nick became a defense attorney.
Ridiculous. Gee, thanks. That said, it does sound like the kind of thing you would do. You haven't changed a bit, have you? Right. So sad. Still floating. Or maybe, yeah, almost. I think you changed too much, Edward. Perhaps. Carmen just said this is his room. He hasn't moved in since I came in to repose. Oh, he's not going to say anything, but I guess he doesn't exactly consider him a threat. Why prosecute? Hey, Edgeworth. Why did you become a prosecutor anyway? You used to look up to your dad. You said you wanted to become a defense attorney, right? I couldn't let myself deny reality like you. What do you mean? My father was taken from me. You want to defend criminals? Hey, I'm not defending criminals. I'm defending people who have been wrongfully accused. I'm sorry, Wright, but I'm not that good of a person.
One suspect was apprehended in your father's murder, right?
Yes. A man trapped in the elevator with my father. His name was Yanni Yogi. He had to be the shooter. Anyway, you look at him. Not exactly. You do remember the photo, right? There was a shot through the elevator glass. And there's no way that bullet punched right through. So, I don't see how that was, pal. Yet, he was found innocent. That defense attorney got him off the hook. That would be Richard Hammond. On that day, 15 years ago, the three of us were trapped in that elevator for 5 hours. Again, I don't believe any of them had brain damage. Because it's 5 fucking hours. That'd be the equivalent of being buried alive, and then have all the oxygen siphoned out, and then to be expected to be alive at the end of the day. That's essentially how much time. Basically, again, as I read, you only need about 10 minutes before you're considered too far gone to even resuscitate. Brain damage happens at about 4 minutes. So, I'm gonna say you guys were probably all knocked out, but none of you got brain damage. So, anyway. We were rescued. All suffered oxygen deprivation. That I do find reasonable. You hyperventilated and then fucking you got knocked out. Your bodies didn't stop requiring so much oxygen, allowing it for you to stay alive on such reduced intake. I had lost all memory of the murder. Lost your memory? No, I can't recall what happened in the elevator. I don't think that's because of oxygen deprivation. That's called trauma. You basically repressed all the memories, but I don't think you're in exactly state that it's trauma. Unless it was a traumatic event. It's the crux of Yogi's attorney's argument in court. He claimed Yogi had not been sound of mind due to oxygen deprivation. Yogi was released due to lack of evidence. Innocent. That's when I changed my mind. I started to hate defense attorneys. What's your relationship with Von Karma? He's my teacher. A man who deserves respect. Really? He's been trying to put you away like a common criminal. Even on the first, bits of evidence that show that you truly were not the shooter. And he just tried to wipe it away. We didn't even have to bring up the fact that fucking all the other stuff. The weapon wasn't fired by you. You only picked it up. I guess the man's trying to get you arrested, so... everything I know about court techniques from him. What is that, interrupting everyone being a court bitch? Maybe. I mean, we have seen some of it, but not all of it. Not for me.
So, he's like my sister was to you, Nick.
He's the perfectionist in all things. In court, his personal life. He's obsessed with doing everything perfectly. Yeah, this guy's got OCD, but he's no healthy way.
Perfectly, huh?
In all the cases he has taken on, none were left unsolved. That's physically impossible, but okay. Not one suspect was declared innocent, ever.
But that's...
I know. It's possible some of the suspects were indeed innocent. However, it's impossible for us to exactly determine that in either case. All Von Karma does in his job is to find the suspect guilty perfectly. In any case, it's nigh well impossible. We didn't just get called, did it? Sorry, it's the same thing as yesterday. And 1 work suspension, so... I can't go to work until tomorrow. Which I'll be glad to. But... anyway, I called yesterday because apparently they can't communicate at all. That seems to be every job I work, to be honest. Find a weakness in him. Should a weakness appear, he will do everything in his power to make it go away. Edgeworth? If what you're saying is true, you're headed for a guilty sentence tomorrow. You don't think he just killed Yanni Yogi, or just went alright pal, you have said too much. You're obviously the killer, so I'm going to need to silence you. The fuck, man?
That's right. Now's no time to praise the enemy, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's a strange situation in which I find myself in, but... no kidding. Alright, well, I don't think we have anything to present to him. Well, we could present him this, give him back some trauma.
Nick, no! With the thought of his father, don't show mad.
I just want to ask him about the bullet through the fucking window. You're right. Probably isn't a good time to dredge up those memories. What is it? Nothing. Huh? There's clearly a bullet hole in the window right there. And if the guy got it through the heart, yeah, that would be exactly where his heart is. Okay. Alright, well, let's go over to see if Gumshoe has anything to say. Looks like Detective Gumshoe hasn't gotten back yet. Gumshoe, you won't be coming back today.
Oh, really?
You said there's some guy you had to arrest by tomorrow. Bloodshot caretaker. He shouted something about catching him if it's the last thing I do, pal. Good luck, Gumshoe. Alright, well, yeah, there's only one place left. Hey! Hey, pal. Long time no see.
Oh, Detective Gumshoe.
Close one today, eh? Yeah, pretty kind of close. I got so worked up, I snapped my tie in half. But your tie doesn't look damaged. Sorry about that. Oh, problem, pal. Thanks to you, we know who really did it.
You mean the bolt shop caretaker?
Look, I'll make you a promise. I'll have that scoundrel in my custody by trial tomorrow. Come what may. That's my duty to you as a police officer. Now, I'm off to catch my criminal.
Detective Gumshoe sure is, active today.
Oh, one other thing.
Eek!
No one's going to the woods today.
The woods?
Where Lotto was camping. The woods are off limits to camping, and apparently the park ranger found out. I wonder how. He got pretty mad. No one can go in there for a while.
Guess Lotta's in a lot of trouble.
Anyway, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Alright, well, let's move to the public beach. Huh? The steel eyesore is missing.
Eyesore?
The hot dog stand is closed too.
I guess Larry's too busy worrying about Mr. Edgeworth to show up for work.
Is that actually a sign that says closed for biz? See, it's the day off.
He was pretty happy about saving Mr. Edgeworth.
True. We owe him big. Alright. Oh yeah, we can't even go to the... Alright, let's go to the rental shop. September 27th,
That old caretaker got away.
Yep.
I never imagined he might be the real murderer.
Yeah, he showed way too much competence, to say the least.
Ahem!
I know that clearing of the throat anywhere. Aha! Yellow! What might you be doing here? Out for a walk, the days of my youth like the scent of fresh lemon. You see?
Mr. Grossberg! This is no time for idle reminiscence. Mr. Edgeworth's trial ends tomorrow.
That is true, yes. But from what I saw of today's trial, Edgeworth should be fine, right? Well, I'm not sure about that. Ho. What do you mean by that? Well, I'm not sure. If you find anything out, come by my office at once. I may be able to offer some assistance. Thanks. Bye.
What do you think Grossberg was doing out here anyway?
Well, if I'm right in suspecting that the old caretaker's Yanni Yogi, he might have been keeping some tabs on him. As much as the guy went missing, it's kind of very important to Mia's whole life. Your mother too, as well as you as well. So maybe he's been trying to keep track because he just felt guilt over this fucking blackmail. Who knows? Make the most sense. Otherwise, what the fuck was he out here anyway? Well, the question is, where the fuck has he been the last 3 days? Or last 2, I think, yeah. December 27th, caretaker shack.
Nobody's home. Hello, squawk! Hey, it's Polly! I wonder where your owner may have gone, Polly. Hello, squawk! can't believe he ran off and leave his poor parrot to fend for herself. Hello, hello, Squawk.
Very talkative. Everything's cold. Looks like he didn't turn his heater on. Guess he hasn't been back here since the trial. Poor bird. That fishing rod looks expensive. Maybe we should bring him to take the lunch. Don't you think the caretaker would mind? Well,
We can just leave him the metal sector in exchange.
maybe we better not.
Ah!
What's wrong?
Huh? Oh, never mind.
What? Tell me.
Just when I saw the TV, I remembered they're showing a Pink Princess special this week.
Oh.
See, that's why I didn't want to tell you.
I mean, I'll appreciate that you were intending to kind of leave it.
That reminds me, Nick. Polly knows the number to the safe, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Polly, what's the number to the safe?
1228. Squawk.
Let's open it, Nick. Come on.
I mean, this stuff is evidence, so I'm sure there isn't any money in there.
But hey, he keeps it locked, right? So there must be something of value in there.
Probably something to the case, possibly. I'm not so sure.
Okay, Nick, let's see what's in there.
Yeah, it fucking could pertain to the case. Guess there might be. Yes, might be a clue or two. The only thing in here is a letter.
A letter?
Oh,
Boring.
there's no name or signature on this thing. It's handwritten in precise, clear letters. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. The fuck? Edgeworth?
Nick, why would Mr. Edgeworth's name be in there?
How should I know? I was gonna read. Fuck, I just realized 1228 is the fucking. Oh, that's why he named it, because of the 15-year thing. So he's gotta be Yanni Yogi then. How should I know? I was gonna read the whole thing. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. It also says this is your last chance. Now is the time to get revenge on the two men who ruined your life. The rest of the letter goes on to describe the murder plot in detail. Kill Richard Hammond and frame Edgeworth. Calling Edgeworth out to the lake, getting on the boat, firing twice. This is exactly what I figured out today in the court trial. It's all here in perfect detail.
What do you think this means, Nick?
I think he's came here and got. I don't know. I don't think he was set up. I think somebody gave him this to do. Either they blackmailed him or something. I don't know, but it looks like these are instructions for that caretaker. When he killed Richard Hammond and called out Edgeworth, he was following instructions.
But who could have written that letter? And what does it mean to get revenge on Miles Edgeworth?
Look, I don't know, okay? But one thing's for certain, this letter is an amazing clue. Yeah. They're from the safe added to the courtroom. I wonder who the fuck actually sent this. Nothing left in the safe.
I wonder why the caretaker didn't take the letter with him.
That is a good question. Why? He left in a hurry, right? Yeah. I don't think he even came back here after the trial. You would think, though, he would keep it on his person. It's a very damning piece of evidence. And he's aware his bird did say it. So.
Say, Nick, don't people usually put pictures of fish up on the wall to boast about them?
Yeah, I guess so. Even pictures of fish they caught, right?
Right, but all the fish on here all look really funny to you.
Well, you know what they say. You should have seen the one that got away.
Except the one that got away from us with the caretaker. We did see him.
Why do I feel like we're having two different conversations? Oh, she was making jokes off of the name, and you made a joke, but then she was like, ah, yes, but you know.
Doesn't look like he used his kitchen.
Right.
I guess the whole pasta restaurant thing was a lie.
You don't think, Meg? What, you thought he was telling the truth? I'm not Keith, am I?
Maybe I should take care of Polly, Nick.
You probably shouldn't just give that. The police know about her anyway. I'm sure they'll do something.
Well, okay. Sorry, Polly. He says I can't take you.
great. Now the bird's gonna hate me. See, yeah. Well, we got the letter. So. Fuck. Basically just... Well, we could, maybe the precinct? What if we presented the letter to him? Edgeworth, see this letter? This came out of the safe in the shack where the boat rental caretaker lives. I see. Revenge on me?
Who's that old guy anyway?
I don't know. Could he be an innocent defendant who got declared guilty or something? Nice, right. But I don't remember that old man. Not at all. Well, the problem is he'd be tied to you and Hammond. So the only guy that, like, we know of so far is part of the DL6 incident. He was the guy that your father accused of being the actual murderer. It would make the most sense that he would be out for Edgeworth as well as for Hammond. Not entirely. Why would he kill Hammond? Hammond's, well, he said that he ruined his life, and again, he got declared basically insane. Doesn't exactly help he came from a murder trial as well, so. Anyway.
So he was following this letter then?
Which means there was someone else behind it. Now is the time to get revenge on the two men who ruined your life. Two men, meaning myself and Richard Hammond.
It also says this is your last chance.
Last chance? Wait, maybe he's talking about the statute of limitation. Or maybe he's talking about the statute of limitations in the DL6 incident. Wait, that old man.
What is it? Do you know who he is?
Yeah, he's Yanni Yogi. There's nobody else we're aware of, and that would seem the most plausible reason, knowing both Hammond and Edgeworth. Yogi. Could he be Yogi?
Yogi?
Suspect in the DL6s. The one who was found innocent. Yeah. That seems to be the most reasonable. Yanni Yogi was a court bailiff at the time. We had just happened to be in the elevator together for 15 years ago. Ah, shit, the whole place is coming down. Quick was incredibly strong. Before I knew it, everything was dark. We were in there for so long, it felt like forever. There, then, darkness closed in on us in that little box. We became unsettled. Help! I can't breathe. Quiet! I said quiet! You're not the one you're not making this any easier. I want to get out! Help! Get us out! Don't shout. He'll just use up more oxygen. That's all I remember. When I came to, I was in a hospital bed, staring up at the ceiling. In court, Yanni Yogi's mental condition was called in question. They claimed the oxygen deprivation and stress had caused temporary insanity. In the end, the claim passed the court, and Yogi was found innocent.
Huh, but isn't that strange? His letter tells him to get revenge on Edgeworth. Why would he want to take revenge on you?
Right. Yeah? Something that's been troubling me for these last few days. I didn't know whether I should tell you or not. You mean the nightmare? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed? A memory of a murder. I think the time has come to tell it all. Alright, well, bye. For the last 15 years, I've had the same dream almost every night. I wake up in a fearful sweat every time.
What kind of dream?
It's a dream about my father's killing in the dark.
Help, I can't breathe. Quiet. I said quiet. You're not making this any easier. I want to get out. Help us get out.
Don't shout. You'll just use up more of the oxygen.
I can't breathe. You're using up my air.
What? Stop breathing my air. I'll stop you.
Now, what are you? Stop breathing my air. No, Father. He's attacking Father.
Then I see the pistol lying by my feet. I don't know if it was the evidence from that day in the court or the bailiff. In a daze, I picked up the pistol.
Get away! Get away from my father!
A negligent discharge.
Wow!
And with that scream, I awake. It's a bone-chilling scream. A scream that has rung in my ears for the past 15 years.
But it's just a dream, right? Right?
It's more than likely the repressed memories. I thought it's the only thing that has kept me sane for the last 15 years. But what if I'm wrong? What if it's real? They say that sometimes people shut out... Yeah, it's repressed. People shut out memories in self-defense. Maybe it was I who killed my father. I don't think so. Your father was shot through the heart. I don't think he really would have had the energy to essentially scream. I think he'd be just like... and then die. I think what happened is you hit somebody else. As we saw, the photo shows there was a bullet shot through the elevator door. Maybe that was your shot.
What?
If you think about it that way, this letter makes sense. It's your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Think about it. Yogi was really innocent. That's why he wanted revenge against me. Wait, Edgeworth, you mean... It was me. I was the true criminal of DL6. I shot my father. This is bad.
What are we gonna do, Nick? What can we do?
I don't know. I don't think there's anything we can do here, like it or not. Yeah, especially since, like, considering... Okay, so if we consider that Edgeworth did shoot his father, essentially the crime that would be committed... Well, the essential, like, ethical crime is that he killed his father, so that's murder. The problem is, it was in partial self-defense, and there was the aspect that he didn't actually handle the weapon in terms of usual handling. He only threw the gun. He didn't actually wield it and purposely fire, and it hit his father. So, it was a negligent discharge. I mean, by all accounts, it would have been... What the fuck is it called? Is it manslaughter? Hey Google, what's the crime for accidental killing?
According to Wikipedia, there are two broad categories of manslaughter: unlawful act and criminal negligence. Unlawful act is when a person commits a crime that unintentionally results in the death of another person.
So it's criminal negligence, then. Well, typically criminal negligence is whenever you have, like, you're choosing to neglect a vehicle's condition, and then a piece breaks off and it destroys a car, and it kills a guy. Something like that. So, is provoked to commit homicide. This is described with crime of passion. Most cases include rage or anger in the defendant, although some cases may be held in fright, terror. So it could also technically be a crime of passion, which would still be manslaughter. Let's see. Voluntary manslaughter in some jurisdictions is a lesser included offense of murder. The traditional migrating factor was provocation. However, others may have been added in various jurisdictions. Whoa. Kills, okay. A reduced culpability, such as defendant kills only with intent to cause serious bodily harm. Which is the problem, that he never intended any damage. It was only because of a negligent discharge. Oh, okay, here we go. Involuntary manslaughter is the killing of a human being without intent of doing so, either expressed or implied. It is normally divided into two categories: constructive manslaughter and criminally negligent, both include. Constructed is also considered an unlawful act. It's when you again do something that is constructive malice, where the intent inherent is the commission. If a person fails to stop at a red light while driving a vehicle and hits somebody crossing the street, they could be found to be reckless as to assault or a criminal degree. There was no intent to kill, and resulting death would not be considered murder, but would be considered involuntary manslaughter. Involuntary manslaughter from accidental death. A person who is driving carefully but whose car nevertheless hits a child darting out of the street has not committed manslaughter. Oh, really? So a person who pushes off a aggressive drunk who then falls and dies has probably not committed manslaughter, although in some jurisdiction it may depend whether excessive force was used or other factors. Okay. Is various referred to... okay, so I think this isn't technically the criminally negligent. When an omission to act or failure to perform a duty owed. So this was involuntary manslaughter of constructive manslaughter. He was intending to defend his father, but because of the weapon he had used to defend his father, the only thing he could find, it had rung out. And if it hit his father, then it may not even be considered manslaughter, just because it never was intended to actually even seriously wound. He never intended for the shot to actually fire. He only intended to just basically knock the defender so that he would stop attacking his father. Essentially, it could be considered more of a distraction and stuff like that. So it could technically... what would it technically be then? Isn't it? Yeah, so, fuck. That's a good question. What would it technically be? Fuck. So he may have not technically committed a crime then. The murder of his father was something that wasn't done with intent to kill or even intent to seriously harm. He only meant to defend his father simply by just hitting the guy. And of course the question would be, could it be considered serious intent if he was aiming for the head or stuff like that? While he may have not been shooting the shot, a metal pistol hitting the back of somebody's head is still going to do some damage. So by all cases, this is either a very light involuntary manslaughter, or this may not be considered a crime. So that is a good question. Let me ask that. Is Miles Edgeworth... Well, I know technically he's not. I know the actual, like, what the thing is. But... I think... Would a negligent discharge... be a crime, maybe? I mean, it would technically, but I mean in terms of... It would be manslaughter. Okay, fuck, there's a lot of shit. Okay, so negligent, this is willfully discharging, so he's not willfully. So what if they unwillfully? Or unknowingly? Well, it makes sense. Yeah, if you willingly, which is you intentionally pull the trigger. So... Okay, and of course this is technically California, so they're going to be a lot more strict. Negligent discharge may seem like not okay with it. Okay, so, but an experience can help. Depending on the circumstances of the allegation, she or he may be able to help. So, if you acted in self-defense, you believe the gun was, well, doesn't believe that. And there was no actual danger of death or injury. So technically those two, because he never intended to harm, but there was harm done. You shot a firearm, well, that's the fun part, it's not intentionally done. Yeah, so if you pulled the trigger by accident, you are not guilty of this offense. By extension, this means you cannot be convicted if you genuinely believe the gun was unloaded. So that, of course... Yeah, I get it. Yeah, which is the fun. Gross negligence, just being negligent. To behave, you acted reckless, that created a high risk. Reasonable would have known that acting this the way would create. So he wouldn't have known either, so he wouldn't technically. You have to, okay, so it has to be both. You have to act in a reckless way and know that is a reckless way. So because he doesn't know, because he's a child, he's never wielded a weapon, he probably didn't even know how to actually fire it. So, by Californian law, from the looks of it, he could technically be not even guilty of a crime. Because he didn't intentionally fire the weapon. He never had his hand on the trigger to fire. He never intended to do anything besides throw the weapon. But because he threw the weapon, unknowing of the possibility of a negligent discharge, it went ahead and fired. And if we were to believe what he believes, that his father was killed because of that action, then by all regards it was just a death. There's nothing to outright prosecute him on. Which is interesting. So he's been giving himself shit all these years for something that he couldn't even consider himself really criminal for. By the own laws, even though he'd probably be like, going like, oh, I fucking killed my father, what the fuck else am I supposed to think? But it's still like, yeah, but by all accounts, you were never intending to kill your father. You weren't intending to kill the bailiff either. You were merely acting in self-defense of your father. or otherwise in defense of your father, and were only acting in a way that would typically, because you were unaware of how weapons or how a gun would work, let alone the more special cases of negligent discharge and accidental discharge, that as far as you were concerned, throwing the weapon would not cause any harm or any deaths, only for it to fire. Which, to be honest, surprisingly, it's on the bailiff, actually. Why wasn't the safety on? Fucking hell! Okay, well, the bailiff obviously isn't... he would be considered... I think the temporary insanity would stick to the fact he did assault his father. But on the question of the gun safety... He might actually be considered... Is he fucking... oh my god, would he technically be... Well, it would be a negligence on the gun owner. Because he should have kept it on safety unless he intended to fire. So in the end, the bailiff may or may not be innocent, but not because of killing, but simply because oh my god, yeah, because that would have totally fucking... Oh my god, that is so stupid. So that brings up one other thought. If that was the bailiff's gun. He did bring up the fact there was a weapon that was brought in for prosecution that was the evidence. So, fucking hell, this is so stupid. So either the bailiff is at fault for the negligence of his own wielding of the weapon, or fucking, I guess whoever was supposed to be handling the evidence may technically been at fault because they didn't put the weapon on safety, which then brings in the question: why the fuck did you guys have a weapon, one of the evidences that should have been filed away, put away, and stuff? Okay. So that pretty much eliminates that the evidence is the weapon that killed his father. So it has to be the bailiff's gun. So by all accounts... Oh my fucking god. It swings back to the bailiff. Oh my fucking god. Is that actual fucking invalid? Oh my fucking god, that is, isn't it? Oh my fucking god, it is. It's a negligent manslaughter. Oh my fucking god. Okay, here's the basic idea. The weapon should have been on safety. If it was on safety, it would have never fired the round. But because it wasn't put into safety, and since it went live, basically, and there was never an intent for the bailiff to use the weapon, he basically... Fucking hell! Oh my fucking god. So, yes, if Edgeworth has considerably killed his father, he is not to be considered. But the bailiff may still be considered for the death of his father simply on grounds of negligent manslaughter. Fucking hell. Criminal negligence. Fucking hell. Oh, that's the stupidest bit. That the bailiff in the end was truly responsible. Again, if... Because we know what the actual case is. At least I do, but anyway. Anyway, fucking hell. I don't think there's anything we can do, like it or not. So basically, by all accounts, from what we know, the bailiff is still actually at fault. And that fucking Edgeworth isn't at fault at all. Fucking hell. Because he would not know how fucking safeties work, and he shouldn't have had to worry because the weapon itself should have had the safety on. The only viable reason is if the safety, during the scuffle, the weapon got freed and the safety was accidentally flipped. That would be the only case I can see where the bailiff and Miles Edgeworth are considered completely innocent of the crime. For fuck's sake. Man, fucking... Whoever was the fucking prosecutor must have fucking... Like... Okay, whoever the defense... Like, Richard Hammond. He fucking did a decent job of just shutting up the prosecutor. Anyway, fucking hell. There's someone else who knows a lot about the DL6 incident, maybe.
There is, Nick. There is someone else who knows about the DL6 incident.
That's right. Who the fuck? Yeah, Grossberg. We should ask him. Well, in the meantime, we're gonna save here. That's gonna be one hell of an opening. Hey, so we figured out that technically the bailiff, if the gun had killed Miles Edgeworth's father, that the bailiff could be considered for negligence, or a criminal negligent manslaughter, and that Edgeworth is completely free of crime. That's so fucking stupid. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, all that jazz, like, subscribe, comment down below, excuse me, and then have a great day.